All right, y'all, we are back in this thing, and I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about some specific characters that are changing the trajectory of our Snowfall world. This video is going to be all about Irene the journalist. In the most recent episode, I feel like Sis is getting closer and closer to signing her death certificate. But she also plays a vital role in the change in a few other characters' relationships and lives, specifically Alton and Franklin. So let's talk about it. We meet Irene this season, and when we first meet her, we get the full setup of this is a woman who is about her business. She is not new to this. She is true to this journalism game, and we get to see that in that our first scenes with her, she is on the phone chasing a story and gets pissed when someone doesn't want to be a source for her. If that ain't foreshadowing, I don't know what is. We didn't know what that meant at the time, but now we do. In that, in the last episode, episode 7, we see her actually flip Alton, and she had been working on him for probably about the last 2 to 3 episodes. But we're going to take it back, because before she was even able to flip Alton and turn him into a source, the first person in Franklin's world who she actually was able to talk to and didn't decide to be a source for her, but we get a preview into where she is and a little bit of update just because Irene goes to her, is Melody. Now, we have yet to see Melody pop back up in the show, which is a little concerning to me because we already are 7 episodes in, but this video isn't about Melody, it's about Irene, so let me keep it moving. We get to see a preview when she's having her conversation with Melody in reference to what Irene's style is like, how aggressive she is, how serious she is, and a little bit of what she knows. So in this moment, she doesn't know everything like she does maybe 4 episodes later, but she knows a good amount, and she came up with that all on her own. So we really get to see, like, Sis knows what she's doing. She is in this journalism game, and she is up on what is actually happening in South Central, and she attempts to pull at Melody's heartstrings, and that she wants to have a conversation of like what happened to her father and how is Franklin involved in all of that. And I was so surprised in this moment that Melody didn't go the route of just saying everything that she knows, which I think is a setup for a later reveal, and we will probably see that in episodes 9 and 10 as they get set up for going into season 5. Her coming up short with Melody, though, is not something that was going to stop her or even get her to press pause. She presses on and decides to show up at Alton's homeless shelter, initially under the guise of just a neighborhood person trying to write a story about the neighborhood and all of the changes, specifically the negative changes. One thing about Irene is that she really did grow up in South Central, and she's been able to see the changes that have happened over the last 4 years in reference to the dramatic decline in quality of life, the increase in crime, the increase in drug use, and the increase in violence. So it makes sense when she approaches him this way because all of this is true. But Alton is no dummy. So he isn't just a person you can walk up and he gonna start speaking. As he should be, Alton is very suspicious of Irene at first, and after a little bit of wearing down, she gets him to buy into doing a small human interest story about the neighborhood specifically. But again, because he is suspicious, because he's not a dummy, he doesn't tell her any of the things that she really wants to know, which leads her to start to pull at other strings. She loops in a detective that's working in South Central because she wants to really figure out what was going on, specifically around Andre's killing and how that could be tied to things. And he starts to really help her piece a lot of stuff together. I guess it's true. They say the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because her and this detective really connect off of the strength of just wanting to put Franklin Saint into jail. For whatever reason, this detective, who we haven't seen before, has Franklin Saint's name in his head, in his mouth, and wants to take him down, which we see throughout this season because he pulls Franklin out, throws him in handcuffs, rough him and peaches up a little bit shortly after the young lady is killed. Khadijah's daughter is killed, so we get to see him pop up again there. But in the beginning, when we first see him with Irene, they're connecting on the strength of just wanting to put the person responsible for the downturn of South Central away. and he's the one who introduces the information about Franklin getting off on that murder, and then opening Irene's eyes up to the fact that could be way bigger than she ever even imagined, and there's way more people involved from very, very, very high levels that she never even thought of. The detective initially is definitely trying to protect Irene, but ultimately he cracks in giving her the shred of additional information that she needs to really blow this case up, and that is the name of FBI detective Tony Moreno, who has insight into all of what Franklin has done in the last 3 years, information on how he has been able to be protected for so long. It takes a while. There's tons of calls. Irene's trying to track Tony down. He doesn't want to be found. He is trying to protect himself. But then after a while, he comes around, pops up on Irene randomly in her apartment, and confirms that the CIA is in fact bringing cocaine into the United States, and also confirms all of the things that she had already suspected and had laid out in reference to Franklin, their drug business, and what is actually happening in the neighborhood for her. The only problem is that he refused to do it on the record. So now she has all of the facts, but no corroboration, so she can't actually run the story. And that helps catches us up to where we are right now, why she needs Alton or someone of his stature within Franklin's family or organization to flip, because she has all the facts, but her editors will not let her run with the story until she has someone who is deeply invested to confirm all of the facts that she has on the page. And this is something that I struggle with, because I know that Irene is really great with speaking and all of that, but I couldn't understand why Alton would actually fall for what she said. She tells him that, oh, you need to go along with me, you need to help me out with this because I can protect you and your family. She's a journalist, she's not a cop. How is she gonna protect anybody? She can't give nobody any type of immunity. She ain't in the interrogation room helping nobody out with any kind of deals. She don't have no control over witness protection. Like, why would you do this, Alton? She can't do nothing but write the story a little bit prettier from your side and say, oh, well, Franklin was kind of a nice guy. But either way, she has to report what Franklin is and what Franklin has done, no matter how nice she makes it sound, and he's going to jail behind it. So I really did not understand why Alton actually caves and decides to go along with it, get on the record, and confirm all of these details for her. But he does, and that brings us to where we are today. Throughout the course of this season, we not only get to see Irene moving around the story about Franklin and the drugs in South Central, but we also get to see little tidbits of her life and her flaws. So one of the things that is definitely ringing the alarm for me is that she has let journalism ruin her life. She has let chasing the story ruin her marriage, estrange her from her kid, and really isolate her in life. So I believe that a lot of that is going to be another reason why it is easy for her to lose her life behind this story and kind of go away without many people missing her. She really just operates alone and is so focused on this story that you can see that there's nothing else left in her world, which is very, very strange. And it's sad to say, like, I really don't like talking about, oh, this person's gonna die. I mean, I know it's a character, but it really feels like that's what the setup is for this, and I don't see how this story gets out in its entirety, or how Franklin lets the story get out in its entirety now that he knows that it exists, because Cissy told Franklin after Alton told Cissy. I don't see how Franklin just lets it ride, and the only way to kill it is to kill the person actually writing it. So as I said before in my episode 7 breakdown video, if you have not watched it, you can check out my episode 7 breakdown for Snowfall right here. You can click the card above or check out the link in the description box below. But yeah, I don't see Franklin just letting this ride, so we're probably about to see the end of Irene, which is a little bit unfortunate. I thought that this whole journalism storyline was going to play out a little bit longer and maybe even go into season 5, but she's moving fast track. Things are moving very fast, and with that said, she's probably going to die fast. But now it's your turn. I want to know what you think in the comment section down below. Specifically, I want to talk about, what do y'all think Irene's motivations are? She says in the beginning that she's motivated by seeing her neighborhood change and that she wants to really do what she can to help her neighborhood. But it also feels like she's chasing this Pulitzer Prize winning journalism story. She's chasing her name being in lights for just writing the ultimate thing. And it kind of also feels like her ego a little bit. Like, to me, only your ego will allow you to sacrifice all of your personal relationships, your personal life, real happiness and joy for this one thing. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Do you think that she really wants to help the neighborhood? Do you think that she is ego driven? Or just tell me, what do you think about Irene as a whole in the comment section? And thank you for watching my Snowfall season 4 breakout video on Irene the journalist. If you've missed any of my episode breakdowns, you can catch them right here in my Snowfall playlist. And I'm Erica Bain. I post new videos every day, sometimes twice a day, and I'm covering the hottest television shows, films, and entertainment news happening right now. If you need some suggestions for new shows to watch, I got 2 right here. Check them out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.